Well, to name five, there's quite a few risks that CPA firms face, and the five that really come to mind that we're advising clients heavily on right now in today's environment. Number one, data protection. When you think of data protection, you think about hacker invasions into systems. CPAs face not only that, but they are in control of quite a bit of private information. Client confidential information, that tax information, they have to be very careful with that. Couple that with the exposure of rogue employees and what could be faced with that and the potential misuse of data, as well as mobile devices and laptops, and misplacing or losing a laptop is one of the key exposures that professionals face regularly. About 80% of all businesses will experience some type of privacy event in a given year. Second, mergers and acquisitions. Merger is a huge exposure. A merger between two firms is the singular biggest exposure event that those firms will face. And that process, you really have to go through a thorough due diligence, really peel away at everything you possibly can and get at and scrutinize your potential partner to your best of your ability. Third, fraud. Fraud, even with the recovering economy, is still quite rampant, and the expectation of a CPA to detect fraud is quite prevalent. 3 out of every 10 malpractice suits against a CPA involve some allegation of a failure to detect fraud. 1 out of every 10, regardless of any area of practice, including tax, involve a failure to detect fraud. Doing all you can to protect yourself in that area is key. Fourth, engagement documentation. Still a hugely important consideration. It always has been around the profession. It is the engagement letter is really the first line of defense in any malpractice claim, documenting the understanding of the scope of services. About 4 out of every 10 claims that we see against accounting firms involve some degree of an allegation of a misunderstanding of the scope of services. Fifth, I'd say the wealth transfer. The baby boomers are reaching that retirement age, and you're going to see the largest wealth transfer in the history of the country over the next 10 to 20 years. With that said, you're going to be talking about high values and in turn high exposure. Not only exposure to your client, so having a clear documentation of what you agreed upon with your client, but exposures to the beneficiaries, because they won't be privy to those conversations you've had with your client and the understanding of why decisions were made at certain time. So really see a big exposure area, but a great opportunity area for CPA firms.